Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the San Antonio Spurs have traded for Kelly Olynyk from the Washington Wizards. He was traded to the Washington Wizards with CJ McCollum, and Jordan Poole and Sadiq Bey went to the Pelicans. In that deal was traded to the Pelicans for Brandon Ingram, and now the Wizards are sending him to the San Antonio Spurs. And the Wizards are receiving Blake Wesley, a former first-round pick for the Spurs, and Malachi Branham. And both these guys were selected in the same draft in 2022. Malachi was drafted 20th overall. Wesley was drafted 25th overall. Also, a second-round pick in 2027 is going to the Wizards in this trade. I love this trade for the Spurs. Look, Wesley and Branham were two guys that I think had potential when the Spurs drafted him, but they never got the opportunity. Malachi in his first two seasons got good minutes, actually played pretty well, didn't play terrible. I thought had solid promise, but as they got better, even better this year, there were not a lot of minutes for him. Wesley, even in his first two seasons, sure, Malachi got minutes. Wesley wasn't getting a lot of minutes. But he didn't even, at least with Malachi, Branham actually looked solid in his first two seasons. Wesley never really looked solid at all. So maybe you could look at his second season and say, okay, he was all right. But just neither one of these guys looked like they were going to be what you would hope for them to be as first-round picks. And I think if you did a redraft, probably both of them were drafted in the second round. And so if you're the Spurs, you get Kelly Olynyk, and I am a huge fan of this trade. This is not a groundbreaking trade. This is not going to push the Spurs to a championship. It's not that type of trade. But I love it for multiple reasons. Now you look at the Spurs, and they've got another center on the roster, a guy who can play at the 5 for the Spurs, but also can be the stretch 4 for the Spurs, playing next to Luke Kornet or Victor Wembanyama. And the crazy thing, and I'm not saying the Spurs are going to do this, I'm just saying the crazy thing is, you could realistically put all three of those guys on the floor with each other. Because Victor Wembanyama, he is center who is 7'4", 7'5", but he has the capability of shooting. And Kelly Olynyk, he's 6'11", center, power forward, but he is a great three-point shooter. And that's why I love Kelly Olynyk. 37% from 3 in his career, 42% from 3 this year, 39% the year before that. Great shooter. And so I'm not saying Kornet, Olynyk, and Victor Wembanyama are going to be on the floor at the same time. I doubt that happens at all next season. I wouldn't, as a Rockets fan who has seen what the Rockets did last year with Steven Adams, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Şengün being on the floor with each other at the same time, I would never rule anything out. And the three guys on the Spurs are more talented three-point shooters than the guys on the Rockets. Adams can't shoot at all. Şengün's not a very good shooter. Jabari is a great three-point shooter, but you look at the guys on the Spurs. Olynyk, great three-point shooter. Victor Wembanyama, great three-point shooter. Luke Kornet, I know he doesn't shoot often, but a lot of people might not know this or forget this about Luke Kornet. Luke Kornet in his first 3 seasons, first 2 seasons in New York and first season in Chicago from the 2017 to 2020 was a good three-point shooter originally in his career. In the first couple of seasons of his career, Kornet shot the ball well. For a 7'2" guy, shot over 33% in his first 3 seasons of his career. Just doesn't shoot often at all. He is 21 and 81 in his last 5 seasons since those first 3 seasons where he was really good from 3. One of the other reasons why I love this addition for the Spurs and then trading for Kelly Olynyk is, as I mentioned, I'm a Rockets fan. And the Rockets had Kelly Olynyk on their roster. I liked Kelly Olynyk when he was in Miami and Boston. I liked him because he was and this was a little bit, I think this was a little bit more unique than it is now. I think it's happening a lot more now, but you're seeing big men that can shoot a lot more now. But you can look at 2016, 2017, there wasn't a lot of that. And 2 guys who were on the same team that I really liked in the first couple seasons I started watching basketball, 2 guys I really liked were Al Horford and Kelly Olynyk. Because they were big guys at the 5 that could shoot the ball. And that's why I was huge. I was a huge fan of Kelly Olynyk and Al Horford when I started watching basketball. And then the Rockets traded for Kelly Olynyk, and he arguably played his best basketball when he was with the Rockets. 19 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, shot amazing from 3, shooting 39% from 3. And then he left for free agency with Detroit. And, look, you look at his first 8 seasons in the league playing with Miami and Boston. 7 seasons where he's playing full seasons for Miami and Boston. He was usually in the playoffs. He was in the playoffs in 5 of his first 7 seasons, full seasons, when he was, fully with the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. He was a guy that was used to playing in the playoffs almost every year. And he gets traded from the Heat. The Heat were a playoff team that year. They trade for Oladipo. Goes to one of the worst teams in the league, and with the Rockets, got to play well there. And ever since then, he's just played for bad teams. And I've wanted to see him on a good team and get traded or sign with a team where he can be on a playoff roster again, like he was with Miami or Boston. Went to the conference finals with Boston in the 16-17 season. Was a part of the, coming off the bench for Miami when they went to the NBA Finals in the 2019-20 season. So I wanted to see that for him again. He just never got that. He signs with Detroit, then gets traded to Utah, one of the worst teams in the league. Gets traded to Toronto, a bottom team in the East. Then Toronto trades him to New Orleans, and New Orleans trades him to Washington. I know he never played a game for Washington, but just getting passed around to bad teams, and now he finally gets traded to a good team. Are the Spurs a championship contender? No, but the Spurs are 10 times better than the teams that he's played on prior, with getting traded to the Wizards and the Pelicans and the Raptors and the Jazz and the Pistons. And as a Rockets fan who's so happy what they're doing now, the 2020-21 Rockets as well were another crap show. So I'm so happy that Olynyk's on a better team now. I think the Spurs with Wemby, if Wemby stays healthy, they added in Dylan Harper, a full season of Fox, adding in Cornette, adding in Olynyk, are a team that should be in the playoffs. And not be a bottom 5 seed. They should be a top 6 seed next season. And so I'm happy for Olynyk that he's going to be on a playoff team. And I think this is a great fit. He's a great shooter. He's a solid rebounder, and a good scorer. And I think that fits well with the Spurs. So I really like this addition for them. Let me know your thoughts on the trade for them in the comment section, and peace out.